That says go, so I guess I'm going. Hey, everybody. This was called Nature's Magic, Which is Truth, and I have retitled it. As I looked over my notes and what I wanted to say, um, it shifted to protecting the sacred, uh, which is truth and nature's magic in the midst of America's authoritarian movement. Don't let that scare you. And please stick with me. And I just want to thank everyone in the Correllian tradition. I want to thank Reverend Don and Reverend Mary and the organizers and everybody who helped put this on, because one of these things is a tremendous production. I know everybody who helped out. I want to thank everyone who's presenting and everyone who's attending. We're doing this for you, and your presence is really the most important thing. Without you, nothing. So you are wise ones, and you are children of the earth, and you're keepers of the old ways. I have notes in front of me, so if I'm looking down, you'll understand why. Keepers of the old ways. Ways that are needed more than ever right now in this very moment. And it's the future that's counting on how we keep those old ways. So I'm really happy and I'm honored to be with you tonight. We are gathering now in a time of trial and transformation. And as I said, the talk I intended to give has become the talk I really feel that I have to give. It is a talk guided by nature's magic, and it is speaking witch's truth to power. So tonight I hope to share an essential shamanic and Wiccan practice that was given to me by the trees. I intend to have time to do that. It's a way to experience how profoundly we are all enmeshed in nature's magic. And we need the world's magic right now more than ever, just as the world needs her witches right now more than ever. So may this gathering be a sacred circle of inspiration, of wisdom, and of courage. May our hearts be brave. May our words be helpful. May our actions be grounded in our love of freedom, our love for our country, our love for Mother Earth and for all of her children. So, as the delusions and the dangers of an artificial and dying culture threaten our shared future, may our practices keep us grounded, calm, clear, and connected. Okay, thank you. Okay, so what we feared is here. It's an aggressive assault on our democracy, and it is a growing threat to pagans, to Wiccans, to witches. It's accelerating and it's expanding. A few weeks ago, an Indiana metaphysical shop owner was assaulted brutally by a man shouting, "All witches must die." Just a few weekends ago, 2 weekends ago, about 75 people marched right through the middle of the most joyous event, the Chicago Pagan Pride, yelling Jesus and waving Bibles and returning to insist upon proselytizing to people who were very polite, very kind, and wisely did not rise to the bait. And 2 weeks ago, just 3 days after the murder of Charlie Kirk, a very mean-spirited, uninformed, and frankly misogynistic book called Pagan Threat was released. And it was released with a foreword by Charlie Kirk. It's an incendiary foreword. And the book is a raging rhetorical attack. It's designed to make Christians fear pagans and make pagans fear Christians. And librarians across the country are already reporting threats if they don't stock it. And then came a presidential memorandum declaring that, quote, anti-Christianity and, quote, hostility towards those who hold traditional views on family, religion, and morality are drivers of terrorism. It's frightening, and it's meant to be. Fear is a tool of tyrants and bullies. We will not be bullied. This hostility isn't random. It's part of a coordinated, well-planned authoritarian movement that's intent on turning our democracy into their theocracy. I've been talking about this for more than 20 years, and it's here now. Project 2025 is its blueprint. It's drafted by the Heritage Foundation, and it's being implemented by a former Heritage Foundation lobbyist, Russell Vogt, who's now the Office of Management and Budget, and a coalition of organizations that seek to replace the federal civil service with ideological loyalists, embed biblical values, their quote, in policy and centralize executive power. And we are witnessing how that power is being consolidated right now in Chicago. Recent executive orders have already dismantled gender equity initiatives, closed DEI offices, created new religious commissions that privilege one faith. Funding for important research at America's universities is being used to blackmail them into staff, curriculum, library, and other changes. This is a quiet, seemingly bureaucratic revolution that is getting louder and more violent and more dangerous every day. It's one that can erase our rights without a single headline if we're not paying attention. Yet, the First Amendment still stands. Our Constitution still stands. Democracy still breathes, and so do we. So, I've spent a lifetime as a public witch, as a priestess, and as an attorney and an activist and an interfaith activist. My legal work over the years has helped to secure many of the rights that are now under threat. The right to practice our faith in peace and in freedom, the right to gather, the right to be recognized as clergy, to marry members of our community and bless our dead with our own symbols, to speak our truth in public spaces. Through that work, over many years, I've learned a simple truth. The best antidote for anxiety is action. Fear feeds on feeling helpless, and courage grows stronger by doing together. At my tradition, the Temple of Ara, we're committed to meeting fear with right action, meeting lies with truth, and isolation with community. We are committed to remaining a public and welcoming community of safety and support and embodied spirit. That is what this convening is really all about, what many of you who are here are committed to. It is vital that we take care of ourselves and each other. Let's be clear about the personal stakes. When any government privileges one religion over another, that faith makes every other faith a target. When Christian nationalists call for a, quote, biblical nation, they don't mean a place where you and I belong. They mean to exclude us from schools, from libraries, from public life. And they are testing these ideas in state legislatures right now. They're posting 10 commandments in classrooms. They're funding sectarian charter schools. They're erasing religious diversity from curricula. This is why our voices and our visibility matters, because silence is what authoritarians depend on. Visibility is how we protect freedom. We know our history, and we know that we have the power to prevent that history from happening again. You've heard the threats. Now let's ground in what we can do. Action really is the antidote to fear. Everything we love, Our freedom, our faith, our earth depends on the actions we take right now together. So, what do we do in the face of fear? We act. We use our rights before we lose them. We organize, we educate, and we build alliances. So, here are 5 things you can do right now that we can do to beat fear and create a web of safety and support and spirit. First, what we're doing right now, reach out to local pagan groups, to solitaries, individuals, and to circles. Create webs of support, create meetups and phone trees and online gatherings. Support your local stores that carry our books and host our workshops. Hold convenings and conferences. Don't be intimidated, and let no witch be isolated. Second, reach out to the Unitarian Universalist churches. They've long been havens for pagans and for interfaith allies. And they have been an interfaith ally. They've hosted CUPS, the Covenant of Unitarian Universalist Pagans, for many, many years. Ask to speak to their congregations. You'll be welcomed. Explain what's happening and ask how you can collaborate. Ask for their support. Third, follow the very inspiring footsteps of an old friend, a pagan police officer you may know, Curott. Contact your local police departments. Don't be afraid. Don't be intimidated. Explain who you are. Explain what your spiritual practice is. Explain your values and explain your concerns. Education creates understanding. It creates respect, and it creates protection when you need it. Fourth, connect with interfaith organizations. This is something that I have been doing for 30 odd years through the Parliament of the World's Religions on behalf of our community, opening doors for us to be present in a world forum on a world stage, introducing ourselves, who we are, how we practice, what our values are, and in the process, creating understanding and even appreciation. It's important to share what's happening with our communities. In fact, I've been in touch with the Metropolitan Interfaith Council in Chicago, and they welcome our participation. They want to know what's been happening. They want to know what happened at Chicago Pagan Pride, and they're interested in inviting the pagan community into their community. Allies are essential. Our safety grows when we are seen as neighbors. We have to reach beyond our circles and our community to build bridges into other communities. We have to work with Jewish, Muslim, Indigenous, Buddhist, and Christian progressive communities and churches. You need to join in interfaith environmental actions. There are lots of them going on now. Tree plantings, river cleanups, climate marches. When we're present, the fear disappears because personal relationships are established. And when those relationships are established, you have friendships. And when you have friendships, you have allies. And one of the most important things that are going on now in interfaith organizations, in other progressive religious organizations, is defense of immigrant communities. This is an incredibly important part of the work that we should be participating in. And when we work with them, we become allies, we become friends, and our work is more effective. Fifth, show up for No King's Day on October 18th. We are a community that knows how to celebrate. Let's bring that spirit to celebrate democracy, to celebrate liberty, and to celebrate spiritual diversity. Bring your friends. Let's show up as a community. Pagans, Wiccans, witches, and our allies. Sing and chant and dance. Let the world that we stand for love and joy and freedom. It's more than a protest. Really, It's a celebration of self-governance. It's a day to say, no one rules by divine right over a free people. Bring banners that say protect pluralism and freedom of faith for all, or you can quote our New York State Attorney General Letitia James, who said, faith and fear don't occupy the same space. They can't. Our ancestors fought for these liberties. Now it's our turn to protect them. The world needs to see that love is stronger than fear. We need to see that love is stronger than fear. It's the greatest magic. Service is our spell for strength. We know that when we serve something greater than ourselves, when we serve our freedom and our democracy, when we serve Mother Earth and her children, we become greater than we ever imagined we could be. We find the strength that lies within us in finding our purpose. When people see our hearts in action, fear fades. Our fear and their fear, respect grows, and courage grows. That's how we turn hostility into understanding and pluralism into protection. It's how we turn our own fear into courage, our own hopelessness into decisiveness. And we have to remember, the First Amendment protects us best when we use it openly and wisely. So let's return to our roots. As witches and pagans and Wiccans, we are people of sacred reciprocity. So I am going to have time to share this practice with you. It's a practice of sacred reciprocity, and it was shared with me by the trees that helped me to come out of a dark hole, a place of feeling tremendously hopeless and disempowered. And they spoke to me and they said, breathe with us. And they taught me that I was enmeshed in nature's magic and engaged in a sacred exchange of the breath of life. We are doing it every moment that we live. It's the first thing we did when we got here. It's the last thing we'll do when we leave. It's the first gift you received when you arrived here. And it's the last gift you'll give back when it's your time to cross over. It's a practice that sustains us, that inspires us, and that keeps us always awake and aware and connected to nature's magic. So I invite you to close your eyes and settle into your body. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Continue breathing in and out, deeply and fully, but in a natural and relaxed way. Feel the earth, Mother Earth, firmly beneath you, supporting you, always supporting you. Inhale. Inhale, slow and soft, feeling your mind grow quiet and still. And as you exhale fully and deeply, feel your body settle and relax. Continue breathing in, the mind growing still and quiet, and out, the body coming to rest and relaxing, in and out, in and out, in and out, And in the stillness and clarity of your mind, which follows your breath, follow the breath that you exhale. Feel it leaving your body and pay attention to what you are doing as you exhale. This is not waste. The carbon dioxide that you are exhaling, that you are releasing from your body, is a gift of life. It's the breath of life your body is creating for all of the green plants who are breathing with you. They receive your gift of carbon dioxide. It is the breath of life to them, and they inhale it in order to live. And as they inhale the carbon dioxide and use it to create glucose, to convert using photosynthesis, the power of light and the blessings of water and earth into life, they exhale the breath of life to you, to all of us. They exhale oxygen. They create not waste, but life, the breath of life. They create the oxygen that you are inhaling right now, that enters you and fills you with calm and quiet and the realization of this intimate, deep connection that you share with all of the green living things. As you exhale, you are returning the breath of life to them. As you inhale, you are receiving the breath of life from them. Each breath binds us in this sacred relationship, in this sacred reciprocity, in this giving and receiving of the breath of life, binding us together with nature's magic. We breathe in and feel the life coursing through our veins as our lungs expand and our hearts beat. And the oxygen we've been blessed with is carried by our blood through our entire body, blessing us with life. And our body creates carbon dioxide, and we exhale with hearts full of gratitude and love and recognition of this profound connection, this deep sharing, this sacred relationship of giving the breath of life and receiving the breath of life, the blessings of nature's magic. Inhale and receive. Feel your heart open. Feel the gratitude, the wonder, the love, the awakening and remembering. Feel the energy coursing through you, the energy given to you by the green plants. And as you exhale, with all the gratitude and wonder and love in your heart, realize the energy that is coursing through them, and the gratitude and love and wonder and magic coursing through them that they return to you as they create oxygen and bless you with the breath of life. Feel how intimately we are all connected, woven together in a web of nature's magic. Remember, you are never alone. Every breath you take binds you to nature's magic and to all of creation. And in that web is all of the love and the nourishment and the wisdom and the strength and the inspiration and the community that you will need, that we all need, so that we are able to remember that we are never alone, And to remember as you open your eyes who you are and where you are and why you are here. Through our sacred breath, we receive healing and hope and the power to create the future that that the earth intends for us, not to dominate, but to create the future that all beings deserve. And this is our strength, to remain calm when others panic, to remain clear when others are clouded by propaganda, to remain compassionate when others turn cruel, to remain connected to nature's magic and to each other and to creation when others have lost their way. So we breathe, wise ones. We give and receive blessings. We give and receive nature's magic. And we know which is truth. We remember who we are. And we remember where we are. And we remember why we are here. The world needs her witches now more than ever. And we are the voices of the living earth, of all those beings, our relations, the plants and the animals, the insects, the fish, the birds, everything, the plants who cannot speak. We are their voice. And we are the defenders of their freedom and their dignity and our own. And we are the keepers of sacred reciprocity. We are the keepers of balance. So, thank you for this time with me. May our courage be contagious. May our love be the greatest magic. And may our spirits be unbroken. So mote it be. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your hearts. Thank you for being here with me tonight. So if anybody has any comments or questions, I am very happy to take them. Let's see if there's anything in the chat. Oh, look at all these people. Blessed be. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Constance. Thank you. Oh, Dawn. This was beautiful. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to do it. Connote it be. I love that, Constance. Let's see. Blessed be from Lowland. Thank you. Oh, Ed. Hi, Ed. How are you, dear? I agree it's meaningful. This is Don. Yeah, right, Don. Democracy, liberty, diversity. Huh. So very true. Thank you, Don. We had protesters insisting on their right to proselytize at Nashville Pagan Pride Day. Well, I guess we can reciprocate and show up at their churches as they're heading in on Sundays and insist that we have the right to share the good word of Mother Earth with them. I don't know. I think our mothers brought us up to behave better. We're going to experience a lot more of that. They are feeling extremely entitled. And of course, with that entitlement comes this danger of increasing violence. And so we have to be very mindful and attentive. But I asked one of the organizers of Chicago Pagan Pride for many years, Twyla York, what she learned from the experience. We talked afterwards. And she said that what she learned was to not respond, to not rise to the bait, that they were attempting to provoke a confrontation. They had their cameras out and they were videotaping everything. And they wanted footage that they could display to show how irrational, how angry, how volatile, and yes, how demonic, right? Because that is their misperception. That is, the dark projection of their unresolved crises and fears and issues and problems um, onto us, right? And so she said that she learned what the community did in the midst of this verbal assault. Don't respond. Don't rise to the bait. Be polite. They offered to pray for the Christians who were insisting on proselytizing, and then, of course, you know, those folks refused, but they were polite, and they did not rise to the bait. And I think that is a very wise lesson that we're all going to need to learn, absorb, and hang on to. And I think the way that we do that is by taking a few deep breaths and connecting to this web of witches' truth, of Mother Earth's truth, of the truth of living in a sacred world and seeking to live in a sacred way. And so we embody that. So we behave in a sacred way towards them, even if they don't begin to know what that means, right? So I think actually using that practice of connection or grounding or invoking your tutelary deity or your power animals, your guides, whoever it is that you're working with, who is guiding you through this journey of our lives. Um, we have to hold the high moral ground. That's ours, and we're not going to relinquish it. And so we use our practices to say calm and clear, compassionate and connected. And if we do that, um, we're going to get through this. Ah, okay. I mean, we had protesters always at the Parliament of the World's Religions, and we had to walk through a gauntlet, right? Um, Head high, smile on your face, don't engage. Hello, all. Hello, hello, hello. All right. I think, are we at the end? Impossible. All right. I guess we're at the end. So I finished early. That's a good thing. I had everything I needed to say, and you gave me the opportunity to say it, and I'm deeply grateful. So be strong. Take good care of yourself. Do the thing that gives you the greatest joy in doing, because that's the thing that is your offering that makes the world a better place because you're here. And only you can do that. And witches know that. So that's your magic. And that's your gift to all of us. Be well, be healthy, be happy, find your joy, make your offerings, and hold the high